Hey, what's up? Yale here from Pro Church Lights. We have a different video for you today that I think is going to be a whole lot of fun. We're here at Anderson University in Anderson, Indiana, and we're setting up for a kind of one-off worship night. Now, that's not something Pro Church Lights usually does, but today we want to show off some of our lights and show what we can do, especially if you're in a mobile church or if you're a church plant, you don't really know where you're going to be like a month from now. I've been there, it's not fun. We want to look at what our lights can do in a setting like this where we load it up. So we've got people unloading the trailers right now. We're gonna move into Reardon Hall here at Anderson University. We've got a lot to set up, not a whole lot of time to do it in, so let's see what we can do. Okay, so we're setting up in here. It is a madhouse, and if you are a part of a mobile church or a church plant, you know what it's like being in a place like this, and it's just chaos every single Sunday. And pretty often you can have a light that just gets busted or destroyed, you know, being thrown in a trailer. So the Zoom Pro 7s here, these things are gonna hold up way, way better than something you get from like Guitar Center, you know? And if you have to be repaired, which eventually something's gonna have to be repaired, we'll do it in a couple days. So I'm pumped to see what this all looks like set up. This is gonna be an awesome event. Okay, so one more thing I want to point out really quick is just the truss towers that we have set up here. Truss towers are an absolute necessity for any mobile church. For one thing, they're really easy to store. You can even sometimes hook lights up to them and put them in a back closet like this if you put them on casters. So one thing that I really love to do though with truss towers is actually hook up a Pro Wash or a Pro Kick on top and shoot it up at the ceiling, reflected down, and use it as a house light. So a lot of times you'll be in a school gym or something like that where you just don't have control and it's those ugly like lights that take 5 minutes to turn on and that kind of thing. This makes it so you have full control with DMX. You can just, you know, dim it to whatever you need it to be, and it's all set up and ready to go. So yeah, so truss towers really are just like the Swiss Army knife of getting lights into a mobile space. There's so many things you can do with them. It's really easy to store them, to move them. They're solid, they're great. They even work as a ladder in a pinch, but legal disclaimer, I did not tell you to use these as a ladder. I think I went backwards on that. Okay, we're good. So Craig, tell us what's going on here. Tell us what we're doing in this space and how you have it set up.
Sure, for the worship service here, we want to keep it simple so our load in is quick as well as our load out that's important in any mobile setup. So most of our fixtures are going to be placed on the ground or on ground supported truss, and that allows us just to build things on the ground, raise them quickly, and then take them down really quickly. So we have all our movers right here that will be placed and sprinkled around the stage. We'll be running power and DMX to them individually. We will have a few blinders that we will, in this facility, they have a nice fly system, so we're going to attach 4 blinders to that bar that's kind of floating right there. We'll raise them up. We're going to keep the color palette real simple. We'll have a really nice modern feel. We have PixelStix right here, which again, all ground supported. We have the PixelStix base system, makes setting these up in unique configurations super easy. So we'll have the 2 truss systems on this side, so we have flanking. We have 2 truss columns here, we'll have 2 on that side. Here we'll mount we'll have a 5Z fixture on the ground, which is a go-go pattern fixture. In the middle we'll have a 4-pot blinder. It's the Pro Blind 4, and then at the top we'll have a Zoom Pro 7, and that's going to give us a nice variety of texture and beams within the air, and we'll haze the space so we'll be able to see all the beams. Back here we have our LED tile by Altitude LED, so you can see the cases, all the panels in here. We'll be building out a 9x16 screen for the service. It's going to be driven with Pro Presenter, and it's going to go up on a portable system, so it just makes setting up an LED screen quick for that mobile setup. That's again most important in these mobile services is speed. The guys back here, in this part of the stage, we'll have another big line of Zoom Pro 12s, and the goal with those is to light the air behind the screen. So we'll kind of create this big glowing effect, and with the haze in the air, it's gonna light it up with white or that warm color I was talking about earlier. And then we're running 2 hazers on this one just because of the sheer size of the auditorium here at Anderson University. So we're running 2 hazers to be able to fill the space nicely. And then control-wise, we will be using a NX1 in this case, and that's gonna just give us the flexibility to do what we need to do, and we're busking everything, meaning we're kind of free-flowing. We're making it up, we're not pre-programming any cues, and we have just presets and things made that we're gonna just throw up on the stage on demand based on what the worship team is doing.
Cool. So we've got a lot of setup to do here. It's already coming together really well. We'll check back in with Craig in just a minute. But for now, I really want to check out those PixelStix.
Yeah.
Those are like really cool. I'm
Check 'em
pumped to
out.
see this thing get set up. All right, let's do that. These are like a Pro Church Lights staple. These are the coolest things. You know, pretty often I see churches just grab like the cheap, janky little LED strips off Amazon and put them in like a box with some plastic in front of it. That is nothing compared to a real light that is front facing, that just gives you some dimension to your stage. Like, there's a lot of really cool lighting that you can do to light people on the stage and to be able to, you know, get them from the back so they look 3D and not flat. That's all great. But if it doesn't look artistic, it's really hard to like pull people into worship. So I love the artistic side of this. Even just having truss warmers inside truss to light it up, to get some more color, to get some movement. Like, there's so much that you can do. And start with PixelStix. I'm telling you, these are the coolest lights. I'm pumped to see it all come together. All right, so we are almost done setting up here. We're about to bring in the band and get everything all together. It's looking super cool so far. So this is Jonathan. He is in charge of all things like making sure you have what you need as a church. So there's a lot going on here, right? Like, there's a ton of different pieces, and I know a lot of churches can't just like drop the money on a LED wall. So where do you start? Like, as a mobile church, if you're like, what do I do? And I'm calling PCL, like, where would you get them to start?
Yeah, absolutely. With mobile setups, it's really important to go with the right fixtures. You don't have to go crazy with it, but getting a handful of the right fixtures to get the job done, whether that's front wash or backlighting, some more environmental stuff like you see here. But really then the whole thing is getting things dialed in to where it's easy setup and tear down. I've been a part of mobile churches before, and it's really a hassle to make sure everything is put together quickly, efficiently, and give you time to run through your songs and everything. I double as a guitar player, so it's important to have enough time to be able to focus on both. So at PCL, our whole goal is to be able to come alongside churches and help them figure out kind of the best processes to really get that streamlined for quick and efficient setups for your volunteers.
Yeah. That's one of the coolest things. I think I'm a pastor full time and just do this with them. Man, one of the coolest things I think is like, you don't have to be an expert at this, you know, because it's easy for me as a pastor to think I need to know every little bit of it, but I can come in and just be like, hey, I like this, I like that, how do I put it together? And these guys can just build you out everything together, which is really cool. So so just call you, website, online ordering, all that.
Yeah, give us a call. Check us out at prochurchlights.com. Shoot me an email, jonathan@prochurchlights.com, and we'll be happy to walk through that and figure out next steps for you.
Cool. So we've got a couple more things to get set up here, and then we've got like thousands of people coming tonight, so this is gonna be awesome. We've got almost everything all set up. There's a couple last minute things that are kind of coming together, a couple things we need to make sure are wired right, but this is gonna be a killer event. Okay, so we got everything set up. We've got a really cool production here put together. Planning center's up. We've got our lighting board. We've got our sound board. Everything is like more or less there. But looking at this, like, it just looks like something that's a little overwhelming for a normal person to put together. So like, how would you go from concept of church plant mobile to this?
For sure. So
Frank. Sound checks, it happens. This is Frank, by the way. All right, go, we got it. Well.
yeah, so every church is a little different. So our background in serving churches across the country, we're able to help visualize for you places that you can install lighting to help amplify the visuals at your church. So it's really important to make sure that pastor, the worship team, and the people that are on the platform are visible, so that way you can help create a more worshipful environment. So using the right tools is really important, and our team at Pro Church Lights, we're dedicated in helping churches be able to utilize the right kind of tools to be able to reach their communities for Christ.
Yeah, and we've got a free tool on the website that you can go on and kind of type in your dimensions and all that, put it all in, and just visualize it, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is great for talking pastors into the budget, because they have to see, as a pastor, I can tell you, like, I have to visualize it to know it's worth the money. And yeah, that works out, right?
Absolutely. So being able to see a proof of concept and having data.
Josh, if you're still here,
This is like every time you've ever set up anything at a church, I know. So we're about ready to get going. People are doing the final touches. We've got people about ready to come in. This is gonna be an awesome worship night. Let's see how this whole thing turns out. All right, that was a long day. Man, it was so much fun just to have all this together, have all these people worship. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, it was a great day. At the core of this, it's the volunteers, right? They are the ones that make it happen. We need to set them up for success with the right tools, training, and processes, and that's what pulls it all together. The team at Pro Church Lights is passionate about that. That's at the core of us. We want to come alongside churches, whether mobile or a building, and put together a system that works for the volunteers so they can pull off things like this with minimal effort.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you can't do this just going to a store and buying stuff. Like, this is Pro Church Lights. Hey, that's where it came from. Oh my gosh.
Pro Church Lights.
Just kidding. Make sure to check out prochurchlights.com, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.